The other day, a bunch of Star Wars creators, including myself, got the chance to speak with the stars and writers of LEGO Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. This is the video of our talk with two of the stars, Gaten Matarazzo and Tony Revolori. They were a lot of fun to talk to, so I hope you enjoy.
Hi, this is Art Eddie from Art of Fatherhood. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us, guys. Big fan. I saw the first 4 episodes. Love the vibes you guys are putting together as brothers and all that. Talk about how you both prepared for this role, and did you guys kind of work together about having that brother dynamic? Tony, you can go first, and you can follow up, man.
Sure. Yeah, as an older brother myself to a younger brother in general and in real life, I think that's kind of the vibe you said. Great directions from Chris, Dan, and Benji. Very, very unfortunately, I did not get to work in the actual room with Gaten, and nor did I had any time to plan this. But I like to think that we are talented enough that we convinced the world that we were in the same room. Mostly him. He did the heavy lifting. But yeah, I just kind of went in there and you, at least in animation, in my um, experience, you kind of trust the team who is building the macro view of it all, and you go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was definitely a lot of that, like that dynamic building was on the shoulders of the creatives. Like Christian and Benji really did help both of us out, and because we both live separate coasts, and we actually didn't really get to interact. This is actually our first time getting to talk in context of this project together. Yeah. Is with you guys, so this is really, really fun. So we're going to be learning.
Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, we're going to be learning some stuff about our individual process while we talk with you guys, which is really, really great. Yeah, it's such a cool dynamic. I also I'm in the middle. I'm an older brother and a younger brother. I'm right in the middle, so I feel like that's one dynamic to try to explore. Yeah, my brother's younger, but we're so close that we're basically twins. But we both have an older sister who feels like an older sister. But yeah. So, yeah, I definitely know what that feeling is like, and I think they wrote it really, really wonderfully. I think they counteract each other very well and continue to do so throughout the process of the show. And you guys have actually seen more than we have. I'm gonna admit it. You guys are way more. You've seen way more of the show than we have. This is bananas to hear you guys talk about it too. I'm excited to see it.
Hi, this is Caitlin from Sky Talkers. So great to talk to you both today. I can't believe we've seen more than you. It's so great. But my question was, you're both not strangers to voice acting, but were there any challenges you faced when coming into the world of Lego Star Wars animation?
Not doing the lightsaber noises. it's damn near impossible. I get it. It's like
it's hard. I remember them telling me asking. I thought it would be funny because Sig is like a Star Wars fan in the realm of Star Wars. That I think that it would be very realistic for Sig to make the noises as he held the lightsaber. I was like, can I do a few takes where I go, whoa, whoa, like, can I please? And they're like, yeah, go for it. I don't know if it made the cut, but I really do hope it did, because
I really hope
it made it easier on me, because like Sig is just a Star Wars fan in Star Wars, so I got to do the dumbest things in the world and just quote the movies and do the dumbest stuff ever, and it was rad.
Hi, this is Keaton Kerwin of Father Son Games.
Hi. Hey guys.
Wow. I loved your performances as Sig and Dev. Did you guys get to choose who would play who, or did the producers already have this in mind?
I think we passed well before. That would be so crazy, though.
I would love it if we got to choose. That'd be the dream. If getting
that would be dope.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see Gaten as Darth Devastator.
You would too. I don't know if like my voice compliments for a Sith Lord. I feel like
I don't think mine does either. Right. We'll see. We'll see when we watch the show.
Maybe we'll just do like an alternate season. We'll go in and record and just switch parts and see what.
Oh, that would be great. I did have one friend of mine who watched the trailer recently go, "Wow, you talked throughout the whole thing," and I go, "That's Gaten, not me." What are you talking about? You even know what I sound like?
That's dope.
Dude, there's someone out there who thinks we could switch roles.
Honestly, I feel like there could be a lot of overlap. I think it could work.
But no, to answer your question, Unfortunately,
We did
we
not
did
get
not
to
get to
pick,
choose our parts, but they were bestowed upon us.
which is nice of them.
Hey, this is Brian with Full of Sith. Um, I just want to say it's great to see you all in Lucasfilm work. Tony, you were terrific in Willow. Um, I want to ask, Lego Star Wars is a little bit on the silly side of Star Wars, but you both bring an earnestness to your parts, and I'm wondering how the both of you worked on balancing that earnestness with the silliness in the room with your voices, because it definitely comes through where it's silly where it needs to be for the both of you, but also, it brings emotion. There's actually moments where it's like, I mean, excuse the pun, like devastating.
Great pun. I think the most important balance, this is easy to get, I think, a little bit more in voiceover and stuff. I think what makes things funny is when the people making the jokes don't know they're making jokes. Is when I think if people are too hyper aware of the fact that they're trying to be funny, it ends up just falling flat. So I think what makes this show specifically really goofy and silly and fun and relatable is that especially with Tony, especially with Sig and everybody involved, like the character Sig and everybody involved. It's really high stakes for these characters, and even though, like, in context of like Star Wars fans, they can watch and be like, "Great, we're having fun watching Darth Jar Jar be on TV for the first time," which is insane as a concept. But it means that, like, these characters are consistently going through really scary stuff and like like things that people can relate to, like getting older with your sibling, and one of them like it has the vibe of like an older brother getting ready to like leave for college and like the younger one not really knowing how to like deal with that shift. And that's kind of what makes things more fun to watch, is when you can relate to them personally as well as just observing a really goofy fun time.
I think also the benefit of what we had was Dan and Benji's incredible writing. It's not silly for silly sake. I know I came in with a little bit less jokes than everyone else, and I was dying laughing reading the scripts, but knowing that to these people, to these characters, this is their real life. This is what is happening no matter what, as fun and as silly as it is for us to see. This is everything in their lives. So you want to give it as much passion and as much love and attention um, as certainly the writers did, but also potentially the characters who are living it, going through. And so I will say I had the massive benefit of having these incredible lines that, I could add the earnestness to.
Gentlemen, pleasure to chat with you both. I think one of my favorite things about this whole dynamic of the story is that, as Brian alluded to, there's some fun elements, but this is actually a pretty serious story with a lot of gravitas. Not only is it about brothers and relationships, but it's about kind of destiny versus free will. And I was interested in knowing what you both thought about the themes inherent in this story.
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Do you want to take that, Tony, first?
Yeah, sure. It's Lego Star Wars, but it's still Star Wars, and I think that's kind of the wheelhouse that it always kind of lays in, right? From the prequels to the original trilogy to everything we've seen up till now. These themes are always present and always there, and I think what, again, I'll keep mentioning them over and over again, but Dan and Benji have done wonderfully well is they've kind of aged with their audience as adults, and bringing all of that with them without having to dumb it down or anything like that, which I think is really, really smart. And I absolutely love things that, and projects and stories that really kind of push the envelope of what, kids can enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. I think what's so cool about this is that Star Wars is a story that's like fully rooted in destiny. Like the entire crux of these 9 movies is a prophecy. Is a prophecy of like, this is set in stone, this will happen. It's just a matter of like those things falling into place and letting them be so. But I think what's so great about this one is that it completely flips it on its head, and that like that what everything we know about the world that we love and have grown to know all the lore about is completely flipped and shuffled and rearranged. And so that gives you an opportunity to kind of make a story that is kind of about free will in a world that usually isn't. And I think that inherently is a more compelling thing. Like when you can have these characters that like it truly is up to them how this is going to go. There is nothing set in stone. It raises stakes. It makes it more exciting to watch, especially in context of family and these two boys going in completely different directions for the duration of what we've seen so far. And I think it just makes it, yeah, it makes it exciting. It makes it fun. Also leaves room for just us to have it leaves room for like Star Wars fans to just make a show for Star Wars fans, and like the fact that Lucasfilm was like on board with us like poking fun at a bunch of like the Star Wars world and like referencing like the expanded universe and like Reddit forum stuff like from like way beyond out there. Like the fact that we've even gotten to do that at all like is just completely shifts this around. And so I think it's certainly the most bizarre Star Wars project that I think has come out in a while, and that makes it really fun to be a part.
Hi guys, Gustavo from Trial of the Force. Before anything, I have to say thank you for taking the time to chat with us. And Tony, so happy to have another Latino in Star Wars. It's great to welcome you into the family. It's amazing to have more representation in the universe. This question is for both of you. Your backgrounds have been like obviously getting with Stranger Things in a franchise that has to do with a lot of love for pop culture and love for lore, as you were talking about before, and then you, Tony, being part of like Spider-Man, more specifically with Lucasfilm with Willow. Like, how did both of those experiences, sharing part of those universes, kind of prepared you or gave you any insight into how to approach your characters here in Lego Star Wars?
I think I wasn't scared. Unless you want to go first.
No, I agree. I was just me like being excited by that answer.
Yeah, it's yeah. I wasn't scared to jump on board. And I feel like sometimes fear can push creativity or either stifle it the way you use it. But, you know, being a part of, as you said, both Willow and Spider-Man and other things as well, you kind of just come into it having fun. And you know, there's nothing to lose here. Which is really, really an interesting place to be. Because I do remember, you know, being scared joining the MCU and you know, reviving Willow with Lucasfilm. So it was really, really just getting to have fun and do this for the love of it. And now that it's out, or, well, not out, but you know, you guys have seen it and everything, and people are starting to love it and everything. It just makes me happy because I had one of the best times working on this project. And so I think beyond that, I'm just enjoying every moment of it.
Right.
You know, whether it be people having fun with the Lego aspect of things, or the Darth Jar Jar or whatever it might be. I'm getting to enjoy it with people. And I think that's the biggest thing I took from the other projects and was able to kind of bring here. And, you know, I will say it helps.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like there's always, when it comes to franchise work, there's always going to be a level of pressure around it because the whole point of franchise work is that it's loved by so many people. And Tony, you've already worked on like so much stuff that has all that pressure attached to it. And all the stuff you've done with it has always been very, very successful and very good, which is like really cool to see. Like that's awesome because it's hard to do in the context of a franchise. So anytime you're touching something that is as loved as Star Wars is, by myself included, there's always a level of pressure there. But the minute you read a script like this, and the minute you work in a room that you do with Christian and Benji, you understand that like the stakes here in context of this are so low because it's just fun. We're just here to like, it's the first Star Wars, like, and that's the thing is that like historically recently, like Star Wars fans are really hard to please. And like myself included, like a lot of times people, they hold these stories really close to their heart. And so when you have something that's just fresh and loose and low stakes and just made by people who want to goof around for people who want to goof around in context of these stories, it takes so much pressure off. So it's just the love, and to see it all come together is like really, really great. I think it's exactly what specifically this franchise needs right now, is to just like take the pressure of things like, and I think it's so fun that it like makes a spin on a multiverse concept, which has been used quite a lot and has been frustrating to some people, and has been like a lot of times used as like for like plot convenience, where you can take something that is really hard to manage and just go fully down the rabbit hole with it and poke fun at it and like find new explorative ways to like create with it. Is really fun.
Tony Gaten, thank you very much for your time today. I'm Vic Aragon from FanDads. My question for you two is, I mean, the series, we see a lot of alternate versions of characters and vehicles, because it is called Rebuild the Galaxy. So if you two had your choice of picking any vehicle from the Star Wars galaxy to remix and rebuild yourselves, what vehicle would you two pick?
This is a good question.
Vehicle.
I think I have a good idea of what I might want to do.
Yeah.
So like, of course, a part of me wants to like fly the Millennium Falcon, but it's not practical in the sense, like for some reason, I'm thinking about my life here on Earth. What would be the most practical vehicle in Star Wars history to have? And I think it would be one of the Jedi shuttles, like the tiny, like single cockpit, single flight, like little ships that the Jedi used and fly around the galaxy, and like the ones that Obi-Wan and Anakin use in the Battle of Coruscant in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. One of those, because like they're super zippy and super fun, and you can find easy parking. Yeah, that's mine.
I think I would have gone like a speeder.
Yeah,
Just the idea of going like real fast, and also like it floats. I can go over the water, which I think
that's
would
good.
really cool.
That's better.
But you know what? For the idea of like, I don't want to copy your answer, but now I want a spaceship.
I'm saying I've thought about this.
It's you have
convenient.
Now I'm like, LA traffic is crap, so I want to. But if I could fly, there's no traffic.
You're just right over it.
Oh, I'm sticking with the speeder, but just know in my heart, I want to steal this vehicle.
Yeah, good.